And a howdy. Welcome back to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel.
Hello.
How are you, Sarah? You all right?
Yeah.
Cool. Good. Welcome back to Sci-Fi Sundays, y'all. We've got the Chevron Awards continuing, of course, as we've been doing the last few weeks, with a nice little break. I guess not accidental break this last week, but a break beforehand the week prior to that, talking some really good Stargate news and such, which, you know, it's kind of our favorite thing to do around these parts. Yeah. Howdy, partner, in a Texas accent, he says, well, hey, you know, where you're born and raised, the accent kind of stays, you know? I'm Dr. Seussing it on acting this morning, but I'll take it. Today, Chevron Awards we're covering are going to be CGI and special effects. We were just kind of debating in the back a minute ago, deciding if we were going to do movie versus TV, or if we were going to do, because we know we're going to cover both today, so we were kind of deciding, should we separate movie and TV, or should we separate special effects and CGI? We decided we're going to separate movie and TV, and we're going to start in TV. So the best CGI and special effects for science fiction and television that you can think of, go ahead and start tossing them in the chat. I've got the handy-dandy whiteboard right here, and y'all know the deal. We will write them all down as we can, or as we get them in, of course, and as we discuss them, talk about them, so on and so forth. And we'll write them down and whittle them down once we get a whole list of them out there to the top 5, and those will be our nominees. And once our nominees are there, we're set. I very much appreciate it. I do not agree, but I very much appreciate it. Yeah, movies and TVs, and good evening, everybody. Yeah. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, all the above. Yeah. Let's go ahead and start off with TV. I'm going to toss one in the rink and then go for it as well. I'll toss 2 in the rink real quick. One a little bit older, one a little bit more modern. Not super old, but Farscape. Because, you know, we're Farscape trioning every Monday. Patreon 215 if y'all are down. And then, of course, Westworld, I think, is going to be part of this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and toss both those in, if those sound good for y'all. Any that pop up on the top of your head, Sarah?
The Expanse and the BSG. You know, the newer BSG. Yeah.
I think, Monk just put that in there too. Yeah. Anything else y'all can think of? We've only got so many. You know what? Just for the sake of it, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and put the 3 down that we could have just already had on this list. SG1, SGA, and SGU, of course.
Right.
SG1. That is a terrible one. SGA and SGU. Right. Oh, we are not into TV shows. Movies just yet.
We're doing television, just television for right now.
I'll put it over there just because it's going to be.
We can.
Yeah, we're warming up with TV essentially right now. We're thinking both practical effects and CGI. So whenever we whittle it down to our top 5, the idea is like quite legitimately the best 5 special effects in general that have ever existed in sci-fi, both in TV and in film. Star Trek, the original series, for its time, it was great.
Yeah.
Star Trek. I'm going to just do STOG.
You could do all the Star Treks, really, but if we want to focus on what's more like the groundbreaking one, I suppose that for the 60s or whatever, that was kind of groundbreaking.
Would any of the other Star Treks technically be more groundbreaking? Because we can totally write them all down and just whittle them off as we go.
Maybe TNG, because DS9 and Voyager basically were the same. You know, it was all the same kind of throughout. But you could say TNG, I think, because I think Industrial Light and Magic did the effects for the television show, I believe.
Oh, okay. Cat in the lap while I'm trying to do this. Star Trek Voyager. I've got Voyager on here too.
Yeah, but that's sort of the same as TNG. That those three, like
They were back to
TNG,
back.
DS9, Voyager, are kind of all the same sort of thing. So TNG was like the first one. Um,
Legends of Tomorrow down there, because even though that is pretty superhero, they definitely
right.
it's a sci-fi superhero venture, you know,
Mm-hmm.
taking their sci-fi ship doing that. Ooh, Peter Monarch. Oh, good one. Very recent. Monarch. I'm going to write Legacy of Monsters just so I don't completely forget or skip over it and think it's something else while I'm just quick reading. Legacy of Monster Sliders. Ooh.
Stranger Things.
Ooh. While y'all read them and say them, I'm just going to react with noises.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like older things that maybe were kind of cutting edge. I mean, we have TOS, but
we could put Twilight Zone down here again. It had cutting effects and all kinds of really cool stuff. I'll put it down just for the sake of it, honestly. We can whittle it off if we want to.
Right.
I just saw Foundation on there, and I am in for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've already got a pretty decent list going. Anybody else? Second Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Sliders. I think I wrote Sliders. Sliders are down there.
Yeah, we got
Dark
Sliders.
Angel.
Yeah.
And Halo. Halo and Dark Angel. Awesome.
I don't think I ever saw Dark Angel. Was that?
I didn't either. I didn't see Dark Angel. Dark
what's
Matter.
her name in it? Anyway.
Halo. Let me put that one right here. Because talking about effects, Halo is more in the conversation than maybe talking about story or whatever. Although the story wasn't awful, it just, I guess, wasn't Master Chief focused. I'm not super familiar with Halo stuff, so it didn't bother me too much, but I can see why it would bother that big thing. Yeah. I guess into season 1, Halo didn't have the best effects, but outside of that, it looked damn good. Oh, Dark Angel only had 2 seasons on Fox and was canceled for Firefly to take its slot and to immediately just get thrown out. X-Files and Falling Skies. 2 great ones.
Loki.
Oop, gotcha.
I mean, there's a lot of things I could throw out there. You have to kind of think of like what was like either really, really good or cutting edge, you know?
Yeah, cutting edge, groundbreaking.
Right.
Just like jaw dropping.
Yeah.
WandaVision. I guess WandaVision jumps in because Loki plays with sci-fi, talking about, you know, physics and multiverse stuff and so on and so forth. WandaVision totally is more fantasy witchy superhero focused.
Yeah.
But do we caveat with Vision and say, sure?
Yeah.
Are we giving it a yay or nay, y'all?
I say no. I mean, it was a good show, but
I'm leaning towards no, just because even Vision's parts in it aren't science fiction focused, you know?
Right.
Say sure, we can knock it out. Cool. Just because, you know, as great of a show as it is, I do thoroughly enjoy WandaVision, except for maybe 2 of the episodes out of the 8. It's still just, it's more that superhero, and it doesn't have some big giant sci-fi thing. No? Okay. Yeah. Oh, David said Battlestar remake.
That's what we have already. We have that already with PSG.
I just put BFG. I guess we'd be talking about both. It's probably specifying the latter one.
The latter one is what I was thinking. But I don't know. I mean, was the original in the 80s, was that groundbreaking for the 80s? I don't know. I was like a little kid at the time. So I don't really remember. I didn't really watch it. So
I didn't either, but I'm pretty sure it'll get. Let's just keep it. We'll encapsulate BSG and like just saying BSG. Keep it simple.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Peter. No rings of power.
Acolyte.
And Andor. Okay. And Warehouse 13 and librarians. But yeah, I think librarians are a little more.
I don't think those had great special effects in them. I mean, it was science fiction-y, but were the special effects that great? It was Sci-Fi Channel special effects. It wasn't horrible, but was it groundbreaking? Was it like, wow, win an award for that kind of effects? No.
Chat, are we going to put Warehouse 13 down? Okay, no. Traveler said you're right. Okay, so I guess we won't. The Expanse. Howdy, Melvin. Yeah, we already put the Expanse down, so that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. We got Acolyte and Andor real quick, and Mandalorian. Let me go ahead and put our little Star Wars things down real quick.
Yeah. We got X-Files, right?
Yeah. Yes. Acolyte, Andor, Mando.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I should type out Mandalorian or spell out Mandalorian, whatever I'm doing. Space 99.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, would Lex be in there? Y'all down to put Lex in there too?
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Me either. I guess that's more open to chat there.
Yeah.
Space 99.
Yeah.
Netflix is Lost in Space. I got you.
That's pretty good too, yeah.
I actually really do enjoy that show. I really like the Lost in Space on Netflix. Orville for Jay, I guess, because that's got a lot of good practical as well. Okay. I haven't seen it, but I've seen the practical stuff, and it looks pretty darn good.
Yep.
Orville.
We have X-Files down already.
Yes, we did toss X-Files down there. I Worship His Shadow, Altered Carbon. Okay, Altered Carbon for season 1 particularly, I believe.
Yeah.
Is the way.
Yeah, Altered Carbon season 1 for sure, yeah. That's really good. Andromeda, I would say no. I don't think the special effects were very good in that.
Okay.
But you could say Babylon 5, for its time, it was cutting edge with the 3D effects it did at the time. Babylon 5.
We'll write it down because that'll be a little mini conversation that y'all can have for the deep space and kind of all that at the moment.
Yeah.
Altered Carbon season 1 was the only one worth watching.
That is true. Really good.
Anthony Mackie's so good. Just I don't know how he's got a manager that chooses really good projects and really bad roles. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Lex is bonkers, well worth a watch. Fringe. Do you want to put Lex and Fringe on there?
Lex, I don't know. Fringe.
Also,
go on there, but I don't know if it was anything that was like wow, amazing special effects. I mean, it was good, but I don't know. It's hard to say because there's a lot of shows I could say that. But
no to Lex. Okay, so how about Fringe and Space 99? And is Continuum is an individual show because obviously my brain's going to Stargate Continuum, but
right, but there's like a 4-season show. It was kind of time travel-y story. Anyway,
worth mentioning.
Because
we are running out.
I've maybe seen one episode of it. It's a show I need to watch. I haven't watched. I always wanted to watch it. It's like one of those shows like that looks like a good show and just never got around to see it.
Yes, and Terra Nova, Eureka, Fringe was a yes. We'll write Fringe down real quick. We are running out of space over here on the TV side, so we might have to start whittling away at some of these things. Let me find a good eraser.
I don't know about Terra Nova and Eureka as far as being wow. I don't know.
I'm at least familiar
but
with
I didn't see a lot of Eureka either, so yeah.
Yeah. Continuing with the great Tony Amendola and Lexa Doig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Acting wise, sure, but special effects, we going for it?
I
Monk, you are the only one that said yes on continuum. So we're looking for like one more, yay or nay on it. Juliet and Peter both said Space 99, so we'll toss that in there.
Okay. I don't know if it's gonna make it, but we'll write it down.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting into a lot of like, Fallout's good.
It's
yeah. I don't know, like Primeval, and I don't know if they're at that level.
Yeah, Firefly. As much as I enjoy it, I don't think it's on this list for effects.
Right.
As great as Firefly is, and as near and dear it is to all of our hearts, are we okay not including it in a CGI and special effects list?
Yes.
Okay.
As I speak for everyone.
Severance? Ooh! We'll do it because
I don't know.
I haven't seen it yet either. And after this last season that I think just ended this last week, everyone's been freaking out about it, and I want to watch it so bad now. Firefly was a budget, not special effects. It was actor driven. Yeah. That's much more in that vein. Okay. Did I write Continuum? No. Oh yeah, because it was just Monk saying it. Anybody else, real quick? Did we miss any? Terra Nova, Eureka. Was Eureka yay or nay?
I say nay.
Yeah, I'm kind of or as Peter would say, meh on that one. Look at Norm. Continuum, Rachel Nichols is a pretty good time travel ride. Okay, let's do it. Nah? Oh, well, we got a yay then a nay immediately after. Oh, nah was for Eureka. And then we got a Eureka was awesome. All over the place. Well, Eureka is awesome. I don't know if it's going to make this list at the end of the day.
I don't think Eureka and Continuum more than Eureka. For sure.
So what I'm going to do, because
just from the little bit I've seen, like I'm an expert.
Crazy eraser does not want to work the way it typically does. That's We're getting our handy dandy alcohol wipe out to erase what is not going to make it into the next round. Are we ready?
Yes.
So chat, if you see something that needs to go in all caps, say go and then write the name of it. Okay? We're gonna simplify it. We're gonna streamline this thing. Say go blank 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 or keep blank blank blank. Actually, don't even write keep. Keep, we're just gonna do it. Write only go if you think it needs to go. And first up is actually Farscape.
Yeah, we got Farscape.
So okay, I'm gonna read the list. Should I read the list as a whole and then we go down into fives and start going, or just do 5 at a time?
I would say do 5 at a time, because if you do the whole list, it's like that's too much for my brain anyway. Go.
There's enough great shows people have missed to not bother making any more. Just catch up. Honestly, yes. But there's so many more good ideas. We got this. But okay, let's jump ahead. Let's go ahead and jump into this. And you know what? I'm not going to read the first 5, actually. Let's go ahead and start with our 5 on the side right here. Battlestar Galactica. The remake, really. SG-1, SG-A, SG-U, and the 100. SG-1, AU, Battlestar Galactica, and the 100. I will fight you. Farscape is the best. Hey, we're learning. Loving it so far.
The 100, I don't know enough about, but gosh, it's hard to say in the...
Lose the 100. I'm okay losing the 100.
Mm-hmm.
We need one more. Never watched the 100. We need one more go.
Yeah.
Go SGA and SGU. As much as I love them, we need one Stargate show.
Yeah, I kind of was thinking that too. I'm like, should we just make it Stargate, meaning all of it, or should? But SG-1.
I agree with that sentiment. But I think SGA should be the one to stay because it is far more special effects, both CG and
with the
practical
Atlanta
effects.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
If I had to pick,
thank you.
They all have their thing. You know what I mean? Like SG1 has a lot of like practical stuff too, not just, especially the earlier seasons, it's a lot of practical things. And then SGU just kind of looks a lot like Battlestar Galactica reboot.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and take SGU and the 100 out.
So it's kind of like I said, like SG1 is more practical effects. SGA is more. Well, they have the practical effects also, but oh God, okay. I guess you have to do SGA if we're looking strictly at special effects. Which one of those two had the best? You have to say SGA, even though it may not necessarily be my favorite one of the three. But for effects, I will go with it.
So we got to go SGU and SGA. SGA staying, SGA go, SGA always. SGA has better effects.
Yeah.
SGU is more aligned on CG. We're talking about I guess the conversation as a whole, and I think SGA it has more of it per capita, and it looks great all the way spread out.
Mm-hmm.
At least we still got Atlanta. So are we okay with going ahead and moving SG1 out, keeping SGA? It hurts our souls, but effects wise,
yes.
SGA always on repeat. Okay, we're doing it. SG1 is gone, and we have SGA for I guess Battlestar and SGA. We've seen a few go Battlestars.
Mm-hmm.
Are we okay taking Battlestar out in the effects conversation?
No, I think it still needs to stay in there.
So we're keeping Battlestar and
like the outer space shots of the ships. I don't know. It was good. I think it was pretty good. It was really good.
So we have 2 out of the 5 moving on to the next round.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't you dare! No, Battlestar Galactica stays. Okay,
yeah.
I guess it's staying.
No, Battlestar Galactica definitely's got to stay. Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay. Next 5 then. The 5 that we were initially going to start with before we had our 3 SG, so we might as well just start with that. You know what? Instead of the 5 that we were initially going to start with, we're going to switch it up again, and we're going to go all of our Star Treks that we have written down here real quick. We have Star Trek, the original series, Star Trek, the Next Generation, Star Trek Voyager,
Deep Space Nine.
I don't think we wrote Deep Space Nine down.
Oh, Deep Space Nine Enterprise, but I don't think we put Enterprise either. But anyway, those are...
Out of those 3 were the 3 that were nominated by all y'all Trekkies,
I almost want to go DS9 because there's some awesome battle things in DS9 that I don't think are in any of the other ones. Maybe Voyager has one, but DS9 has some really good battle things in it. Yeah.
Okay, so out of the original series, The Next Generation, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine, what stays, what goes? Seems like Deep Space Nine is staying.
Voyager can go.
Voyager goes?
Yeah.
Harris, you not really STV was the first time they went full CG. What is STV? Star Trek. Oh, Star Trek Voyager was the first time they went full CG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had full CGI effects, but I think DS9 has better stuff.
We've got 2 go.
I don't know.
Voyagers. That's enough for me to.
I think DS9 does more with it than Voyager does. I don't know. I mean, it was a mix of practical and stuff still, but that's fine. I'm hardly this expert. I'm just kind of I think about it. I think, I say this one thing, and then I think about it, and I'm like, yes, the first couple seasons of DS9 are not great. All right, it's a little bit of a slog like the first, but once Worf joins, it really takes off and it gets really good. The Dominion War stuff is great. It's good from that point. That was an episode of Voyager. That's when 709 joins the crew.
No one mentioned them. I guess because they're just. I can see why though. They weren't like groundbreaking, and they're all really good, but they're not like some specifically amazing something. You know, they're just standard, really good VFX for modern day. Nobody cares about Babylon 5 versus Deep Space Nine. The war is where it picked up. Okay, but we're talking about effects, y'all. Not all the like the plots and all that.
Yeah.
Special effects and CG. What moves on? Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek The Next Generations, or Star Trek the original series.
Well, about original series because of it being sort of groundbreaking for television.
Kind of one of the first shows that was able.
I am a little bit torn between DS9 and Voyager. I want to say DS9 though. That's what
I'm going to go ahead
Voyager
and remove
has some good stuff too. It's not Voyager has some really good effects stuff in it too, but
we can keep both. We can keep Deep Space Nine and Voyager till next round, and original series if we want to.
Yeah,
we know they're going to get cut off originally. Eventually, excuse me. So I'd say we might as well cut it off while we can, but I understand wanting to keep it for a while. Keep Deep Space Nine and Voyagers. So
I was kind of leaning towards that too. Although original series, was original, I guess, in some ways. I don't know if it's. All right, I think TOS has to go, and we'll stick with DS9 and Voyager for now.
Okay. So after that, let's go ahead and before we jump into that original 5, let's do our Star Wars since we're kind of on this. Let's do Skeleton Crew, Acolyte, Andor, Mandalorian.
I say keep Mandalorian, the rest can go.
Effects wise though? Like
Grogu?
Sure, but and as much as I dislike the show, Acolyte looks damn good.
Yeah.
And effects wise, all of the fight scenes.
Andor, all right. Andor could stay too.
And Andor, effects wise.
Yeah. All right, Andor can stay, but I mean, Acolyte
has been on Disney
have
not the
lightsaber
behind the scenes. We're talking how it looks.
I mean, Acolyte has the lightsaber whip, so. And what was it that? What was it? The witches could turn to smoke or something? That was kind of crazy. But,
just like died and dissipated to a degree.
Yeah.
We did get young Luke and Mando. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Effects
wise, they had that effect in there. Yep.
It's kind of what it. I know I'm being partial towards Star Wars. Sorry, that's where the brain goes.
I think Acolyte. I think I'm gonna go no with that.
What have you been smoking? No, Disney Star Wars. At least their CGI is solid. That might be the only thing they get solid, but they get it solid.
Yeah.
See, my
Andor and Mando.
Skeleton Crew is so effects and practical heavy though. Like a lot of it's made.
I'll give you Skeleton Crew too. I think we can get rid of Acolyte and what was the other one?
I don't want to get rid of any of them. I don't know what to do.
I think Acolyte can go.
Okay, let's go with Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is more in y'all's hand. This is killing your children kind of deal. Skeleton Crew and Mando, is that keep or stay? The robot is in almost every scene. Skeleton Crew is a visual effects feast.
Right.
So is Andor and so is Mandalorian. Like it.
those three, I guess it's down to those three as far as Star Wars, I think.
Do we keep them and come back and see what they're against later?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Just because I mean,
we're gonna, we did put Babylon 5, right? You did write Babylon 5 on there?
Yes, Babylon 5. I just put Babylon and put 5 right next to it.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Babylon the movie. As far as CG, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Skeleton Crew Wolf got to look like a mask, not very good. I thought he looked great. I don't know. There are scenes where he didn't look 100%, but guy in a giant freaking wolf hat walking around. It's hard to pitch them versus each. We should have split the sets up. We don't compare franchises, versus each other. Right. Yeah, in retrospect, next time when we go to movies, I'll just name the 5 in a row instead of trying to compare all of the ones that we know against one another. But yeah, so continuing on with the list, we'll do this. Now we have. Let's do the Babylon 5. Let's do Severance, Space 99, Babylon 5, and Netflix's Lost in Space.
It's like really hard because they each have their kind of. Because Space 99 kind of has that, it's like 70s or whatever. Is it 70s, early 80s, whatever?
Babylon 5 and CGI are like.
We have to keep Babylon 5. Got to keep Babylon 5.
Well, because it seems like it was groundbreaking at the time for not necessarily maybe the effects, but doing it at the budget it was at.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People were saying keep Babylon 5 and Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Y'all, I love Lost in Space. I love Lost in Space. But most of the time, the effects are just the robot, and they're damn good.
Yeah. Right. And is it better than The Expanse or whatever else we haven't hit on yet?
It's not as good as any of the Star Wars things that we just kept.
No. It's good, but it can go.
Do y'all agree with that? As much as we frickin' love it.
Mm-hmm.
Lost in Space, just in the conversation of effects and CGI, although it had some damn good. Pound for pound.
Yeah.
Worth taking out. I'd also say the same for Severance. I haven't seen Severance, but we know it's not like 100% the most sci-fi focused show, which means I know it's super CG heavy though. Y'all make the decision on Severance because I'm being indecisive over here.
I haven't seen it, so I really don't have a vote. So, I mean, my thing is like it can go, but it's because I haven't seen it, so I don't have.
Yeah, I just don't know. Even with all the CG heaviness that it has, I don't. Just without having seen it, I'm not sure if any of the CG in it is so groundbreaking that it is deserving of continuing.
Yeah, I'm fine with it going. I don't know if it really fits kind of what we're thinking in what we're doing anyway. I mean, it is science fiction, I guess, but yeah.
Oh, no. Sometimes for sure. Sometimes it's a cover up, but I wouldn't necessarily think that. We have too many examples of the otherwise, When it comes down to Lost in Space versus Expanse, I choose Expanse even over Battlestar Galactica. Well, Expanse is still up here.
Yeah.
I'm struggling with Severance 7 episodes in, and I still don't know what's going on. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and take Severance off, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think Severance. I don't know if it's like a hard
space going.
What were Lost in Space or Babylon 5?
Lost in Space, Babylon 5, and Space 99 right here.
I'd say Space 99 goes. And
Lost in Space just doesn't bring anything.
What Babylon 5 did was more groundbreaking than what Lost in Space did.
Hey, thank you. And you being here makes it more awesome, my friend. Keep Babylon 5. I love Space 99. It seems like everyone loves it, but it doesn't seem like it's worth keeping in the CGI and effects heavy conversation?
I would agree.
Babylon 5 is? Yeah? Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Babylon 5 out of those 5 continues on.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we've got Farscape. We've got Westworld.
Mm-hmm.
We've got The Expanse. And we've got Fringe. Those are all.
So far, Fringe and The Expanse is what I want to keep. The other stuff.
Over Westworld, too? And Farscape. I mean, Farscape is a walking effects show.
Yeah.
It's just hard to. The Expanse, go. Oh, wow. Expanse stays.
Yeah.
I'm with Sarah. Fringe CGI wise, Expanse and Fringe that go or stay, Traveler. Oh, because he said he would use that's Fringe is fantasy.
Then I'm comparing Fringe against
Fringe genre, a Fringe TV show. Oh God, Fringe show genre. First thing that pops up is science fiction, horror, mystery, supernatural. If it's based purely on CGI and effects, Westworld stays.
We're doing best overall special effects. So CGI, I mean, which that's kind of what most things are now.
But thinking about it, even the effects with
whatever.
Westworld,
yeah,
the effects in Westworld are amazing, but they're so human focused. It's not. It's clean. It's sleek. It's amazing. It's beautiful. But
right,
I don't know if it's groundbreaking. Actually,
yeah, I don't.
Alien Earth trailer wins. Yes, yes. Spaceships win. Fringe is most definitely sci-fi. Okay. Westworld is mostly actors pretending to be robots. Yeah, that's kind of where my brain was going. Okay, let's take Westworld off of y'all.
Yeah,
as much as it's an amazing show.
It's good. Yeah, it's amazing, but yeah,
we're talking CGI and special effects.
I know, but we can't keep everything that's kind of. We'd like to.
Yeah, we're whittling it down to 5.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. It definitely had like the most money to put behind something, and it probably looks the best out of all of them. Maybe besides The Expanse for some things, but like, okay, we still have Farscape, The Expanse, Fringe. Yeah, that's it. We have Start. I can't speak. Farscape, The Expanse, and Fringe left from those 3, 4, 5. Do we keep Fringe? Do we keep The Expanse? Do we keep Farscape? Or do we get rid of any of them?
We can get rid of Fringe.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I'm willing
to. Farscape and Expanse stay, in my opinion. But.
Yeah. Oop, cat.
Getting a visitor. Come sit down. Come on. So Fringe.
Farscape and The Expanse. I mean,
Fringe is mostly blobs.
It's like you're looking at one is like very CGI and one is very practical, so it's kind of hard to,
Okay. Okay. Next up, though, because we're gonna keep Farscape and The Expanse. They just make sense to continue on with. Let's jump into DC Legends of Tomorrow. I can go ahead and scratch that one off.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not. Before I continue, I know it's not going to last. Let's go ahead. It's actually the first few seasons of that show are really good, and then it
Yeah.
just loses itself in silliness.
Yeah, it went downhill pretty fast.
Yeah. So, sorry, Legends of Tomorrow. Now we have what was groundbreaking about Muppets in space? Where did we get Muppets in space?
But it was Muppets in space.
Oh, that's a good point. It did turn into Muppets in space. Now I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
God, the little Furbies going, whatever. Anyway, well, now we have Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, Sliders, The Orville, and Stranger Things.
Orville can go. And
I think Orville and Sliders. I know that's not going to be the most popular.
I just don't remember Sliders being very like special effects heavy. I mean, it had its things, but maybe I'm just not remember. It's been. I mean, I haven't watched it like since it aired, so it's been a while. Stranger Things is definitely a keep. Monarch, yeah. I haven't seen Monarch. I mean, I've kind of tooling around online. I've seen little snippets of things like here and there, and I'm just not sure if it's better than Stranger Things.
I wouldn't say it's better than Stranger Things. It's actually the hardest thing to compare it to here might be Stranger Things. Stranger Things, is it SciFi? Yeah, it's SciFi. Yeah. Kind of want to see what Jay is like mental. We should have changed the show to what effects still hold up today. Well, no, that's not the case. We still have Twilight Zone on here. We still have Babylon 5 because it was groundbreaking for the time and such. Same thing with SGA and Battlestar Galactica in general, you know? And Voyager and Deep Space Nine, so on and so forth. It's not necessarily that. What about AFK, Star Wars, and maybe fan film, but fully CGI Unreal? We're not including fan films. That opens up a rabbit hole that we have to start thinking about watching and keeping it simple. Keep it simple, David. That's our favorite little kid. You know, it's keep it simple. But yeah, some of those things are amazing. And we could do this specifically for fan films at a certain point. But that would be its own category and such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. But also, how long would that take is the question.
Yeah.
So yeah, we simplified
it a lot. So we're simplifying by just kind of combining it together. I know that's not necessarily totally, but I think it's.
Yeah, the idea was we either do movies and TV and separate and talk about effects as a whole, or we separate special effects and movies, or excuse me, special effects and CG. And then you'd have to talk about TV and movie as a whole, which totally isn't fair to TV at all because they just will never even reach the same budgets or anything like that.
Right.
And it was just, it complicated it a bit. So for the KISS rule, we try to keep it simple. But yeah, life is short. We don't have all day. Monarch had great CG.
Mm-hmm.
But right next to Stranger Things, I don't think it's going to last. It's not groundbreaking CG or anything like that either. And it definitely wasn't using a budget well. It was just saying, oh, we have a giant budget. Okay, we'll go film everywhere across the world. And when we feel like it, we'll use some cool CG and put a big old monster somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, as it is, I think we might have, I've got like about an hour and then I got to go. So,
okay. So yeah, the movie's going to be the speed round of this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take Monarch off. I love me some Monarch. It's not the best show ever, but we'll go ahead and take it off. Red Dwarf was awesome, but I don't think it was groundbreaking in any way. I still haven't seen it, but Melvin wants me to watch it so bad, and I will. We will watch it after, or we figured out an order for the Enterprise and the Star Trek stuff, and that's going to be amongst all of that eventually. Do we decide to keep sliders? That was kind of.
I'd say no. I'd say you can get rid of sliders.
Sorry, sliders. Hasta luego. They had a zero budget with that and did a hell of a job.
Sliders.
Red Dwarf's a watch.
Oh, Red Dwarf, yeah.
Get drunk to watch Red Dwarf. No, right. Red Dwarf's awesome. Dump sliders.
I don't doubt that it is, but I don't know if it's going to make the list that we're doing, as far as a show, but
that's kind of where my thought process is too. Sliders was good, but the effects weren't the biggest feature.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, now, this next bunch is good too. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. I'm going to do 4 and 3 to keep it simple.
Okay.
I'm going to make the second round much harder. The first round, we have Dark Angel, Falling Skies, Loki, and Halo.
I'd say Dark Angel goes.
Okay, I'm pretty sure everyone will agree.
Falling Skies, Halo, and what was it again?
And Loki.
Loki.
I love Falling Skies. I've kept myself from watching the last 2 episodes because I don't want to be done with the freaking series for the last 2 months.
Yeah. I watched it, but I don't remember that much. I remember
CG.
Pope.
I just don't know if it. Pope's awesome, of course.
Yeah, that's the thing that stands out from that show is that.
I just don't know if the CG and the special effects will hold up. They're damn good for the budget, restraints, TV, all of the caveats that are there.
Right. I think I get Falling Skies and Jericho mixed up a little bit in my head, but anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen Jericho eat. Not this list, but a list of things to watch, of course. What happened to Dark Matter? Nobody said it. Yeah, nobody's mentioned it. I love Falling Skies, but it has to go. I'm with you.
I would agree.
I just erased it. That was my sad face looking down
there. So we're left with Falling, or not Falling. What are we left with?
What's left is Halo and Loki.
I'm leaning towards Halo, but they're both really good. But I have to think of take if it was a good show or not out of it, and just the effects themselves.
Halo stays. It looks so much better.
Yeah, I'm with Halo. I'm leaning towards that way too.
Let's do that, and then we have to ask the question: does Halo stay though? Or do we let it stay from this round, or because we are in kind of the finality counter here, does it stay? Halo effects are awesome. Dump Halo.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like Halo, but the effects.
Yeah, we're not talking about the storyline or anything like that. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep it for now, and we'll do these last 3 real quick.
Yeah.
Halo looked great, but story sucked. Yeah. Okay, so our final 3 here are Twilight Zone, Foundation, and X-Files.
Oh, X-Files stays. X-Files. The other 2 can go.
I would have kept Twilight Zone.
X-Files was pretty out there for television at the time.
But it wasn't groundbreaking in any means. Special effects or CGI wise, it was just run of the mill.
But the way they did it, just something about the way they did it was different. X-Files goes anyway, but I'm just a huge lover of X-Files, so maybe I'm probably being biased, but
something pre-computers needs to stay.
Yeah,
and it should be Twilight Zone, shouldn't it? If the original series is gone, the Twilight Zone was prior to the original series Star Trek, and made that viable.
Yeah.
I think Twilight Zone is a must stay in a way.
I'm good with keeping Twilight Zone.
Okay, so
And
Foundation or X-Files?
Foundation.
Foundation's some of the best, I think, CG in a sci-fi story ever put to something.
Fine, X-Files goes.
But with Foundation, that being said, I don't know if it's like Westworld. I don't know if it's groundbreaking. It's some damn good CG, but I don't know if it's like that best CG. Well, we are talking the best CG ever. So is it? Westworld wasn't enough CG and practical effects. Do we keep Foundation? We kept Twilight Zone. Do we keep Foundation? We never saw and good budget management for Foundation. Amazing budget management for Foundation. They're literally the only show Apple takes money away from. But I think Foundation would win.
When did the original Twilight Zone was 60s, 50s, 60s?
It either started in the late 50s or early 60s.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like we're keeping Foundation. Okay, we'll keep it. So the things that have survived are culling here are. Oh, you know what? We didn't actually talk about two. Altered Carbon and Fallout. We're hiding down here. I love them both. I love the idea of Altered Carbon. Haven't seen it, but I think we could probably take both out.
Yeah. You have to watch the first season of Altered Carbon. It's so good. Joel Kinnaman is just
Kinnaman's so good. He's I don't know if he's underrated or what, or if he's just perfectly rated for where he does, but both.
And just
both.
there's some light things in there. Anyway, it's just you got it. You will love Altered Carbon. I'm telling you, you'll love it. The first season.
Late 50s. So Altered Carbon and Fallout, y'all. We have a couple days and goes, I think, for both. I'm okay taking both.
I say keep Altered Carbon.
Keep Altered Carbon?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And as much as I do adore Fallout, obviously, just for talking about it on Friday at the Radical Wasteland podcast, which you also can watch, of course, on Fridays. But it's not groundbreaking just yet. Now, if they are able to exacerbate those sets and put maybe 300, 400 extras in a bunch of power armor, conversation's about to change real fast. Just not yet. Not yet. LOL, episode 1, CGI is the best. Okay, so what we have left: Farscape, Battlestar Galactica, The Expanse, Stargate Atlantis, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Skeleton Crew, Star Trek Voyager, Stranger Things, Twilight Zone, Foundation, Halo, Andor, Mandalorian, Altered Carbon, and Babylon 5. Halo is the one thing that kind of sticks out to get rid of, I think.
Really?
Just in the conversation for CG, just looking at it next to Stranger Things or Foundation or any of the Star Wars shows even. That's the only one to me that stands out to go. Go Halo, dump Halo. Y'all are in?
Yeah.
I think they were all waiting for an excuse to find a way to dump Halo too, though. I guess we're all kind of with you on that one. Halo CGI looks good. Story sucks. Go Halo. Stranger Things can go. Melvin, interesting. I don't know. I think Stranger Things is going to be in the top 5. Okay, out of all of these, is there a top 5 that you would naturally? Which ones have to be in your top 5? For me, I'm gonna say The Expanse, Foundation, Skeleton Crew are my 3 for sures. I almost said Stranger Things, but there are a lot of things right here. Stranger Things go, Stranger Things go, Stranger Things go. Wow.
All right.
Do we take it out? I think that means we take it out.
Vote.
Interesting. Vecna is going to come find all of you in your sleep, and the only way to get rid of him is to play Metallica on top of giant buses. Flawlessly, by the way. Battlestar Galactica and SGA have to stay. Then all the Star Wars stuff. Like, we're talking CG and we're talking effects. You know that doesn't make sense. Like,
I don't disagree. As far as like,
pick one: Andor, Mandalorian, Skeleton Crew, because they all just make so much more sense than most of these too. Still Bennett.
yeah.
Okay, out of the Star Wars, what goes? Andor, Mando, or Skeleton Crew? The show out of them that is
Mando.
Mando goes? I think so. I think Mando goes. Because they actually, yeah, Mando definitely goes just because they're so heavy on the medium and the volume.
Mm-hmm.
Andor and Skeleton Crew have the world at their hands and at their behest to go play with, and then they do it. Andor and Mandor go? Go Mando. Andor is the best of the shows in pretty much every way. Keep Andor.
Mm-hmm.
Andor is a in every which way, including CG and special and practical effects, is a standard bearer.
I'm fine with Andor over Skeleton Crew.
If we're talking CG and special effects, though, well, people are saying Andor. Andor is amazing, but CG is better in Skeleton Crew. I'd have to agree with you.
All right.
Andor is a standard bearer, but the CG is better there. Okay, since this is such a hard contention point, let's do Voyager, Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine, staying.
Keep it or leave it?
Keep.
Okay. But were they groundbreaking? Yes. Literally, every digital effects media house will follow what these two, like Andor and Skeleton Crew, did for the rest of time. So, yes, they're very groundbreaking. But yeah, Voyager go.
Yeah.
Okay. That brings us down to 1 Star Trek, 2 Star Wars, Babylon 5. Okay, we know our Star Trek and Star Wars. We also have Stargate Atlantis. Does Stargate Atlantis stay? Obviously, we all
I want it to stay, but compared to everything else, I don't know. You got to make the hard choices here.
Yeah. Well, okay, let me just reread what we have real quick. Obviously, we know we have Skeleton Crew, Andor, and Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm.
We have Farscape, Battlestar, The Expanse, SGA, Babylon 5, Twilight Zone, Foundation, and Altered Carbon. Mandalorian reinvented sets with stagecraft. Yes, and then became over-reliant on them, and you can tell in seasons 2 and 3, and they've changed the whole thought process of making them now, because they became too over-reliant on them, and the CG kind of started to diminish. And I guess you had to, if you're going to spend the money to actually go on to Luke and do that kind of stuff. So there's still arguments for it, of course, but overall, I'm Canadian. SGA should stay. Yeah, that's where it kind of started to. There was a bit of an ebb and flow, and sometimes a little bit more ebb.
I think Farscape can go. Even though I know we love it and we're watching it, and So join the Patreon, by the way, so you can watch our Farscape watch there.
Of course. Our Canadians still welcome, but of course. Yes, Ben Muppets in Space. Oh, that's your Muppets in Space. I thought we were talking about the Muppet Show or whatever.
No.
Oh no! Farscape can go.
Yeah.
Farscape cannot go.
I love Farscape too. Right?
Anything from 90s and early
You had the
shouldn't be
Priestess
on this list, by the way. They cannot hold up anything 2010 plus.
Yeah.
Understandable, but we're still talking about if they were groundbreaking at that time and brought like the whole confusion with, I guess, Andor and Skeleton Crew is like, yes, they look amazing and yes, they will stand up, but they literally both were helping invent more technologies and reworking very recent invented technologies and bettering them to actually make those things function. They literally did change the game. And Farscape did too back in the day. And so did, I guess, Babylon 5, and so did Twilight Zone, and so on and so forth. That's why they're there.
Right.
But, oh no. Yeah, too. Oh.
I know.
Personally,
I love Farscape too, but I just don't think it makes the top 5. It's on the list, you know.
You're not going to be happy
I
with
would love it to be in there, but I just don't think it quite gets there.
If we're still on that groundbreaking, like badass, just oh wow kind of thought process, I'd get rid of Altered Carbon before I got rid of Farscape for the groundbreaking aspect of things. Because like the new Star Trek, like a Picard series like that, it's not necessarily using some fancy new technology. It's just really, really good CG. And if we're talking really good CG on here, it's going to be Expanse or Foundation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are we okay with Altered Carbon?
No, but I'm okay. I gotta watch that first season again.
I need to watch it in general. Yeah. And yeah, Farscape was groundbreaking. I have spoken.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We can leave it for now. I just don't know if it's gonna make the.
I don't know if it will. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need 5 more to go.
SGA, as much again, but SGA's got to go.
SGA or Battlestar Galactica?
To go, SGA.
Okay. Farscape, Battlestar Galactica, Deep Space Nine. Puppets were not groundbreaking. That's a good point. Technically, Star Wars was doing the same thing, but to incorporate it into budget into a TV show is insanity.
Yeah.
But it's a good point.
Yeah.
Farscape, Battlestar, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine. Hey, spoilers. Dang. I'm kidding.
Spoiler alert.
We're just doing it for the first time. But also, it's a 25-year-old show. So.
Yeah.
The show is my age, actually. Surprise. 26. Surprise. Sorry, Nick. Yeah. Oh, I knew it didn't like, wait, what? I thought it was talking about something else. I thought it was talking about SGA. Oh, puppets were not groundbreaking. Okay, anyway. We caught up. Deep Space, Battlestar, Farscape. If you've been Farscape for using puppets, then Star Wars must go. That's different, though. It is very different. Like, Skeleton Crew is the only one that uses some, but it's much more... Like, if we're talking a Henson thing with Dark Crystal, that's a whole different animal. Obviously fantasy, not sci-fi, but when you add both... So y'all are saying Andor? If we take Farscape, we're taking Skeleton Crew as well?
Mm-hmm.
That is my thought process exactly. Yep, and it's still here. We still have Babylon 5 on here.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends on the criteria one uses. Yep.
Yep.
DS9, although BSG has more modern style production. Was that for Go or for
That's what I was leaning towards too. I was like, BSG is more modern, but DS9.
If we're thinking of like standing the test of time, I'm not familiar with either one necessarily. So which would y'all hang your hat on, per se?
I'm fine with putting DS9 over BSG.
Okay. It seems like that's okay.
I mean, it hurts a little, but
So now we have left, because we haven't erased any of the Farscape or Skeleton just yet. So we still have both of those: Farscape, Skeleton Crew, DS9, The Expanse, Twilight Zone, Foundation, and/or Babylon 5.
I think Babylon 5 is definitely on the final list for me.
I'm with you. I think Twilight Zone, Foundation are there for sure for me. And I feel like Babylon 5 is kind of on that list at this point as well. Should we mark those as 3 most likelies?
Babylon 5, Twilight Zone, and Foundation? Is that what you were saying? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that.
Babylon 5 has to stay. Keep DS9 in The Expanse and B5. I'm feeling savage today. Twilight can go. Like if you watch DS9 and the BSG revival, BSG looks like it was made today. DS9 maybe not quite. And I say this with DS9 being my favorite show ever. Well, it's not necessarily if they hold up. It's I guess partially if they hold up, but mostly is did it bring something to the table at the time that nothing else was doing. Twilight, go. Do y'all want to keep Twilight Zone or let it go?
Yeah, we need to. Anyway, when we start doing this for every year, we'll have to like have a little company meeting and define this stuff more clearly. We're very like seat of our pants. Well, that sounds good.
This was presented to us, and then
very go with the flow here.
Yeah, it was presented, then the person that presented it couldn't make it, and now it's what it is. It's what it is. I want Twilight to go. Twilight Ben. Damn. All right. Well, there goes Twilight Zone, y'all. Okay. We thought we had something safe.
So are we still debating DS9 and BSG?
No, Battlestar's gone.
Okay.
So what's left is Farscape, The Expanse, Skeleton Crew, DS9, Foundation, Babylon 5, and Andor. Foundation and Babylon 5 are the 2 I have marked that are most likely to make it to the finality.
Yeah.
I would think The Expanse too.
Yeah, The Expanse. I mean, Expanse is kind of like the next evolution. You know, what BSG did, then Expanse kind of like, it's like the next evolution of that kind of.
Twilight can't finish above Battlestar or Deep Space Nine. Yep. I would have kept both over Expanse. Interesting. Wait, Battlestar's gone and DS9 stayed. What the comments? There's too many. The Expanse was so CGI heavy. The fixes in a Star Wars show will win it. I don't think a Star Wars show is going to win it. No. But both of those they're deservedly in this conversation at this point, whether we like them or not, you know. We have if the Expanse, Foundation, and Babylon are here to stay, that leaves Dogging the Star Wars, Skeleton Crew, Andor, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and Farscape left. There are some ropey effects in Expanse. The Expanse wins show over. I personally think Foundation's going to win. Mm-hmm. But I think the most likely chance is we'll end up having people vote for The Expanse, is my guess. And I'm a Trekkie first. So, okay, Farscape, Deep Space Nine, Andor, Skeleton Crew. Which one goes?
Andor.
Y'all down? Andor? Okay. There she goes. Except for Andor, and there it goes. Oh no. I said, there she goes, right as you type that one in, too. Oops.
Yeah.
All right. So we have 1, 2, 3 for sure's. We need to get rid of one more show.
Farscape DS9 Skeleton Crew, right?
Farscape DS9 Skeleton Crew. I think it's going to be Farscape or DS9.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, wow. Nick even said Farscape. Wow. Go Farscape. We have one DS9 gone.
That's what I was.
Farscapes. One skeleton.
Okay, so Skeleton Crew makes the final 5 then. So it's basically we're debating Farscape or DS9, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And everyone, Farscape's gone. Farscape's gone.
Yep.
But not gone for too long. Come watch Sarah and I on Patreon.
Tomorrow, yes. Tomorrow. We'll be watching.
I know. I started
what
laughing.
episodes are we on? 6, 7? I don't even know.
Do any Star Wars shows have uniquely great special effects when compared to each other? No, but that's why we are. Well, yes, but also we are comparing it as a whole for all science fiction and such. By Farscape, let's do most original sci-fi. Remember, this is CGI for looks. Story doesn't matter, so this list sucks anyway. Hey, that's different. You can separate your brain in 2 different spots there. An Expanse, when that you're smarter than that. I believe you, Melvin.
Yeah.
An Expanse, when that woman is out shooting aliens, the effects are pretty poor. Yeah, when Bobby's shooting aliens there, that's pretty poor. I think the Expanse definitely stays just because obviously we're all fond of it, and it is kind of Game of Thrones for sci-fi, and it is pound for pound really damn good CGI wise. Obviously, none of us even faltered on choosing the Expanse over and over again. But for the reasons you're given, I don't think it's going to win overall. Or I personally wouldn't choose it to win overall, even though I kind of half expect it to win overall. But yeah, our top 5 are the Expanse, Skeleton Crew, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, Foundation, and Babylon 5 over here, all spread out, which is interesting. Yeah. I felt like the Expanse was groundbreaking. It's groundspeak. I can't even say any words now. Good Lord. Groundbreaking, mostly I feel like because they were so specific about making sure the physics of what they're doing were true to how modern into new space travel would be. Yeah. They were very, very, very pertinent about that.
Yeah, like even the stuff with like how people develop, your muscles and bone structure is different depending on the gravity you grew up in, and all that kind of stuff was cool.
Yeah, the perfect example of that is the last week, the astronauts coming back down, and they're all going to be in wheelchairs for a few weeks, maybe a month, however long it takes for their bodies to readjust back to Earth's gravity and such, Yeah, and whenever they used the CGI or practical effects, they were very specific about making sure that it was going to be grounded in reality, which was
really cool. 5 did that too, to a degree. Yeah, I would agree.
Oh, I had no idea. Well, then it's a very good thing it's still on there. Taking into account bone density was genius.
Yeah,
and just something most shows for time purposes, for story purposes, for money purposes, don't take the effort and time to do. Right. Okay, but for the sake of speeding this thing up, part of me almost wants to separate it again because we have reached an hour 15, and damn, we're talking for a while.
I'm running out of time to be able to stay, so I'm thinking.
Are y'all okay with splitting this into next week for film?
Mm-hmm.
and we can just talk about what we've seen over the course of the week and kind of do our laundry and housekeeping for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I think we got to do film next week if you want me to be here anyway. Because
pick the winner. We're just nominating today. We're just nominating, and then y'all will pick the winner when we decide to put out all the polls.
Yeah, we're gonna do a bunch of polls, and
I think we only have 4 or 5 more categories left, and
yeah. I don't remember. We'll have to look at anyway. This is all Jay's idea, and he's not here.
Yes. This is all Jay's idea. We've had him for 2 out of like the 5 of them. We're just like, we got it. We got it. We're hoping for the best, expecting the worst.
Yeah. We need to have Stormy. Like he used to do this stuff, didn't he?
Yeah.
Stormy.
Well, he's working on that PhD. We have
2.5
more months of him working on. Oh no, not excuse me. Working on a master's right now. For like his 6th master's, because he's got a degree in anything that he has an interest in,
right.
And he has a lot of interest, which means the man's literally a genius.
Yeah.
Hence, resident rocket scientist.
Right.
Can Jay be here to explain it then? Hopefully, we will. We never know. It depends on how he's feeling that day and what's going on. Want to stay online and watch Altered Carbon? I wish, but I got to go see a movie at 1:40.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see Locked with Skarsgård and Anthony Hopkins, and I'm pumped.
Which Skarsgård?
Bill Skarsgård. I was like, wait a second.
There's a bunch of them.
See a movie yesterday with not Stellan Skarsgård. Which one is the other brother? Not Alex Skarsgård, not Bill Skarsgård.
Gustav or
not Gustav?
The one that was in Vikings. What's his name? I think it's Gustav. I think is his name.
It's. Anyway. There's an F, S, whatever. Skarsgård's kids. I'm gonna type that.
Yeah. Then there's the one Skarsgård guy that's not related to them, right? That did Nosferatu or whatever. He's not one of those Skarsgård.
Oh, no, he's the son.
I thought there was a Skarsgård that's not related to them. but
maybe that's the guy I'm thinking of. Because it's Gustav, and I don't think it's him.
Gustav is one of the brothers. There's like 6 of them. I don't know if they're all in acting, but I know there's Alexander.
Never mind. Jay will come back and tell us we're all wrong.
He can come with his own list, Come at us. Just don't want that.
Yeah.
Side question.
That's funny. Anyway, well, I guess since we're gonna go ahead and film the rest of this next week for the movie aspect of it all, what have you watched this week?
For All Mankind, I'm trying to catch up on.
So far, so good.
So far, I'm still in season 1, so it's a lot of focusing on the families and the people, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I want to get more into the alternate universe stuff, which I'm hoping that it gets more into that as you go on. I don't know. What else have I been watching? I'm behind on Daredevil. I haven't seen this last week's episode yet. I gotta watch that. What else have I been watching? Oh my gosh, like
that has good CGI. I'm kind of surprised no one said for All Mankind.
Yeah.
But I guess ultimately it wouldn't have lasted.
Yeah, no, because it's Anyway, what else? I'm like drawing a blank here. I watched Electric State, of course.
What did you think of it? I mean, you said the robots, of course, were the kind of the highlight, and the story wasn't anything to write home about. But I guess you had to.
It looked good. I mean, the robots all looked good, and I think the robot characters were, written okay. I think the writing was not great. There was moments. It did some weird jumps, like the robot hunter guy, like, in the Stephen Tucci character shot the the scientist guy, and he's just like instantly like, oh, I'm on your side now. And that was just a little bit too much of a leap. Like they didn't really, it was like he's trying to kill, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's just switches sides. Like it just
It's
happens
like, yeah,
easily too quickly. There's a
where does
weird time
immorality
jump
actually
too, like
lie?
when they're leaving to go to Seattle. At least Seattle's in it. Hey, where they kind of like, I mean, they kind of just jump of like they're leaving in their trucks and then boom, they're in Seattle. That was a little kind of weird. I mean, I get, we anyway. So there were some pacing things that were kind of weird like that. Yeah, it's like a, one and done kind of movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Where especially after talking about it yesterday in Afterthoughts, would you rather them have made it as an R-rated film closer to what? Obviously, I haven't read the graphic novel either, but we can see how this world would be darker, especially with the villain's kind of thought process and everything.
Right.
If Marcus and McFeely, the guys that wrote the Avengers movies and Winter Soldier and Civil War, hadn't have switched it up to be more family friendly,
right?
Would you rather have seen that movie, or would you rather have them made either way, the more family friendly or the more I guess not even family friendly? Would you rather them have made this into a TV show, like a limited
not.
series?
It'd be too drawn out, I think. I think it would have been better if it would have been
R-rated,
written it better. If it was just written better and it was a little tighter and the page, it just feels like, okay, they spent a lot of time developing all the robots and then kind of just threw it all together quickly.
The people don't get much.
I mean, I guess it has the good message of like, we need human connection and not just be on our devices all the time or whatever. Like, with those, what are they, Neurocasters or whatever they were. I mean, that was kind of a cool concept too, the Neurocaster thing. And they didn't really explore that too much, but that was kind of a cool idea.
Did you think or did you feel like it was kind of just Ready Player One light?
I could see where you make that comparison, but I don't know. It's hard because I mean, I've read the book, the book Ready Player One, or listened to it anyway. By reading, I usually mean Audible, if that counts. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. To me, they're like different things. I didn't really draw that line. I mean, I can see where you want to say that, but
yeah,
for me, no. But, yeah. And just, they just throw that ending in the end of her, like, we all need human connection and to get along or whatever.
We spent the whole movie not making human connections
or robot connection
to hang our hat at the end to say, oh, human connectivity is like the most important thing we could do.
Yeah.
I can see one or two really good movies or a really, really good limited series out of what we got. It just isn't
like a mini series or something. I guess I could see that because then you'd have time to develop a little bit more, the characters a little bit more.
Multiple season thing would work, but a mini series, like 4 to 6 episodes, I'd be in.
Yeah, if that's all they did and didn't stretch it out. But, because it'd be interesting to see, like, okay, how does mankind and the robots, come together or make peace or, it'd be interesting to see, like, okay, what's the world look like 20 years after that or something, just.
Yeah. Or honestly, give me a mini series. I thought about it after the movie, and I thought about mentioning it yesterday and just started talking so much that went off the brain, I would have loved to have seen it be a mini series with a prequel movie about the 90s war with the robots.
Yeah.
I think if they wanted to expand the IP, that would have been the way to do it. And use that movie, drop it right, almost surprise people with it and drop it right before at the same time as you drop the miniseries to advertise for that.
Right.
but you know, they didn't ask me, so
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
we
I
got
mean,
the
it is a bit of that trope of like, are robots sentient beings? Do they deserve the rights as humans? So, that whole thing. But
and I guess one of the things I would have liked about the miniseries, and I assume because I haven't read the graphic novel, but I assume it probably delved into it a little bit more.
Mhm.
Where do those robots? What? It's like Neuralink. It's like the Neuralink conversation. Like, okay, are we turning into robots? Are we cyborgs?
Mhm.
Are we already hardwired for stuff like that? So it's just an addition to our natural kind of. It's just a weird extension of humanity in some way. Like, what perspective is taken into looking at this? And I guess with a little bit more time, it would have been fun to have seen.
Mhm.
Okay, are these people or are these robots at this point? Whenever people put themselves inside of that to walk around, like,
Yeah, what is consciousness, I guess, or whatever.
yeah, what is consciousness? Because
Is it just electrical, energy in our brains, or do we have souls, or both, or what? Yeah.
maybe the question that has arisen just from watching the movie that does intrigue me to actually like maybe watch something else if they were to ever do it enough, or if they were to redo it, maybe I don't know. Don't necessarily jump on redoing it immediately, but what is the electric state? I would have liked to have explored that, you know.
Yeah, or like that X zone or whatever was called the electric state or something like that, If
Yeah,
maybe
I would have
things
loved to have
were
been.
in better shape there because they don't need food, they just need electricity. Wouldn't they have? Seems like they would have built a better society than living in a rundown old mall.
Yeah,
Because they can
precipice
be
of,
building and doing things 24/7. They don't,
well,
I mean, as long as
and
they have electricity, they can do anything, whatever. But
electric steak.
yeah.
Well, because literally, Mr. Peanut in there says this is the precipice of a new robotic civilization right here, and it's
Right.
like, are you sure? Like, are you positive? Like a precipice of what?
Right.
It took
I mean,
one
it's
group.
been like several years since the end of the war, right? So it's not like it's right after the war or something. I don't remember how much time it was between.
It did confuse me as well because they can all work all the time. The robots don't need sleep, but also I guess Anthony Mackie's little robot unplugged the fridge so he could charge at some point. So do they do need to charge, or do they not need to
Yeah,
charge?
but they were out in that zone or whatever where I guess things have been war has destroyed things and there isn't like electricity reliable.
And they all seem to be doing just fine.
Like if you can plug in your fridge, you can't like split off and add a couple outlets. I mean, if you already have one, you can anyway. Unless you're just like clueless on how to do that. But anyway, they didn't build like their own little like power plant or something, like I don't know. They don't. I mean, that's like details. They know that's like not important, really. I guess, but it just because it's like, was that X zone or whatever? Was that a prison? Was it just dividing the geography between humans?
It's almost
robots?
they present it like a civil war had been played out,
Right.
and then like a separation of state. It felt like,
yeah.
But it didn't play out like that necessarily. I guess the treaty kind of keeps it a little bit like that, but also, what exactly is it? What is the electric state, and like what actually is the electric state? But I would have loved to explore the cerebral aspect of what is the electric state as well.
It does seem like more of like an adult movie, adult topic that like, let's make it a kids movie because it's got cute robots,
It's like the cute robots are supposed to bring irony to everything. They're not supposed to be what they were. Yeah,
Right. Like, you're gonna make.
But okay, well, outside of Electric State and
Yeah.
For All Mankind and everything, anything else?
No, just keep watching some Star Trek here and there. I need to watch some more. My husband and I are, we're circulating through DS9, Voyager, and Enterprise.
Hey,
yeah,
I need to jump back on the Enterprise in a big way.
Mhm.
But I need to figure out what's going on with all the membership stuff as well.
Yeah, we need to figure that out, or do just members, or can anyway. That's
that's behind the scenes. Figure it out. Super complicated. Or not. I don't know.
But for now, if you're a patron member, you can watch.
Come hang out with us tomorrow.
Farscape tomorrow. I don't even know what episodes we're on, but
we're on episodes. We watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we're on 6 and 7.
6 and 7. Okay. All right.
I guess was that everything that you've seen this week so far?
Yeah, just been busy doing life in between.
Yeah. I guess on my end, I have been catching up on movies. Saw Friday Ash. I saw Friday, which is a sci-fi kind of cerebral horror movie right now. Check it out. Y'all. Y'all would very much enjoy it. It's Isaac Gonzalez and Aaron Paul. Saw Moon this weekend. Thought it was all right. Moon's awesome. Yeah, that's a good one. Love some. His face is right there. We keep seeing the White Lotus clip of Sam. He's an Argyle. No. This is where my film encyclopedia. Sam Rockwell. Oh my God, I was gonna die on that one. Thank you so much. Oh my God, that was gonna kill me. Thank you all. That was gonna absolutely kill me. Opposed to Ash versus Evil Dead? No, this is just Ash. But I love some Ash versus Evil Dead, of course. But no, Ash all day. There's a claw in my thigh. Yesterday, saw Magazine Dreams and Black Bag. Black Bag is probably it's not probably. It's the best film I've seen this year. I was kind of detailing it to you a little bit beforehand. It is I wouldn't say cinematic masterpiece necessarily in that sense. It is a verbal masterpiece. It's not a slow burn. It's not a super long movie either. It's CIA. It's not CIA focused. It's SAS focused. It's British, of course, or English. Yeah. And Michael Fassbender and Cate Blanchett just give a masterclass in acting. It's so good. Just Fassbender's blank stares because he's this, he's that agent that doesn't have anything but behind his eyes. But while having nothing behind your eyes and having so much behind your eyes at the same time, I don't understand how he does it. It's so good. And all of the action set pieces are essentially dialogue set pieces. And I know that sounds like, oh, well, there's no action. You're just getting sentences. I kind of explained it to Sarah at the beginning, right before we started. I won't spoil anything, but it's like instead of action sequences, you get dinner parties, but it's also dinner parties hosted from like a Secret Service type of person. So it's much more of an interrogation. And it's Fassbender interrogating a room of people that are having a good time, not having a good time, being interrogated, gauging all one another because they're all Secret Service members. There's so many things going on, and you know the vast majority of them. You don't know everything. You get a little surprise at the end, which is great. Or a couple of surprises maybe at the end, which are great. But the film just takes you on a ride, and it is so good. When a film is that masterful with their words that you don't have to have action sequences. You do have some minor action sequences, but it can just keep you awake. And I'm a sleeper. Y'all know me. I'm a napper. I'm a serial napper. And I'll go see a movie 2 or 3 times because I napped through part of it. Nope. That one keeps you awake. That one keeps you in it.
The underlying tension that's there is what makes it good. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it, but just from what you're explaining, I've seen movies like that, and that's the underlying like violence could break out any second kind of thing. You know, or whatever, but
And Blanchett
yeah,
is
yeah.
it's so good. Like I was
Yeah.
thinking about it
She's
yesterday.
just so good.
tweeted about it.
Just, I mean, not
'Cause
everything she's done, but most everything she does, you know.
everything besides Borderlands. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Galadriel. I mean, come on, you know. But,
she nobody else can be an elf queen like that.
yeah. Oh, Queen Elizabeth too. The Queen Elizabeth she did was great too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see Tar from a couple
No,
years back?
I think I remember hearing that and thinking like, oh, I should watch it, and then I just kind of forgot about it or whatever. But it got nominated for a bunch of stuff, didn't it?
And it should have won.
Yeah.
I love Michelle Yeoh, and I love Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was the
Mhm.
movie I saw more than any other movie that year. I saw it 6 times in movie theaters.
Right.
Kate Blanchett deserved to win that Oscar. I love Michelle Yeoh, but that's giving Michelle Yeoh a Lifetime Achievement Award for stuff and not doing it per movie, you know?
Mhm.
And the film that should have won Best Picture that year, as much as I love Everything Everywhere All at Once, should have either been Tar or Banshees of Inisherin. But anyway.
We could have done films by now. Not with how long it took us to do television. No.
No, not at all. It's only been 20 minutes since we mentioned that.
Yeah.
We would have been an hour and 15.
Yeah.
We would have just gotten started on that. But outside of, I guess, Black Bag, watch some SG1, of course, just while playing cards. The Electric State, Mickey 17. Yesterday, when I went to go see Mickey 17, you know I'm a little fond of the greenery. So before going to see a movie, I might partake in a little greenery. I walked into the wrong movie theater yesterday. I looked down at my phone, and it said I was supposed to go to Theater 7, Seat E6. And all I saw was the 6. So I walked into Theater 6 and tried to find E6 in my seat somewhere. And I was walking into the middle of Mickey 17, and I just sat there for a few minutes just staring at it. This isn't a trailer. It's not some extended look at something. And then I kind of realized what was going on. I was like, get out of here. That was in the middle of the freaking movie, too. But just jumped out and went over to Black Bag, which was awesome. The Dread Pirate. But oh god, like I know it's not sci-fi, but I could clamor about Black Bag all day. Today I'm gonna go see Locked though, and Novocaine. I'm excited about Novocaine and Alto
I want
Night.
to see that too. Yeah.
So I got Anthony Hopkins, Bill Skarsgård. And then I almost said Dennis Quaid. Have Jack Quaid, and then tonight got Robert De Niro and Robert De Niro. So that'll be interesting. It'll be a lot of movies today. Talk to you next Sunday about them, you know?
Yep.
I think that's kind of all, though. And some Parks and Rec. Been watching... and of course, finished Invincible. Continuing on with 1923. And Daredevil is so good. Are y'all watching Daredevil, you and Brett?
Yes, but I haven't seen this week's episode yet. I gotta watch it. Maybe
it's not like
this afternoon.
Super action packed.
Watch it tonight. Yeah.
But the episodes keep getting better, if that makes sense. Like it just, oh my god, it's not even like it's not action packed. It's really not, but it's still just you're in it for every waking moment, every waking second of it. It's just
they're so building to something. Right.
Unless he's watching with critics for free, LOL. Very expensive. It is inexpensive. Yes, yeah, all of it, yes. But when you get your Regal Unlimited or your AMC, something like that, I'm a member of Regal Unlimited, so I pay $22, $23 a month, and then every movie I see is only 50 cents. So I might spend $30 a month on movies, $35 a month on movies if I'm like seeing a whole bunch of movies. And that helps a lot. Because otherwise it would be about $15 to $20 a ticket, and then it gets very expensive. But there's always a way to help mitigate that expense. That's good value. Yeah, it's the best one for if you're gonna see
Spoilers.
a metric shit ton of movies.
Yeah.
Nick Barry spoilers. Oh, Daredevil killed. Well, that's not true. That didn't happen. There might be something similar, but that didn't happen. Chill. You're good. You're good. You would think people would know by now. We all have the Twitters, Facebooks, and Instagrams, but some people avoid that stuff like the plague. And I don't know.
All right. Anyway, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we're hour 42. Come hang out with us for our Skate 3 on tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow evening. I have to make sure we're good with the Afterthoughts crew. But speaking of Daredevil, I'd like to go ahead and the cat seems super happy. You have one in my lap right now. We're hopefully going to be able to do an Afterthoughts with the crew tomorrow about what we've seen in Daredevil so far. And Wednesday, I would love to maybe get something going for the rest of the series about kind of keeping up with it. Because Tuesday, we have a double set of episodes. So not just one episode on Tuesday night, we have two,
right?
Which would be great. Wednesday, of course, Sarah and I will be back for Stargate
finishing our for the ships, the second half. What are we doing? M through Z or whatever.
M through Z, I believe.
Yeah.
Or not M. I think it's
L.
It's either it's M. It's M and N or L. One of the three. Yeah, we're right there. But yeah, so Monday Farscape, Wednesday Stargate. Tuesday, nothing, but hopefully we got a little extra something on Monday and Wednesday as well in the evening times or the morning times, depending on where you are, of course. Friday, no Radical Wasteland. And, of course, we will be back on Sunday for Sci-Fi Sundays. And anything else changes throughout the week, we will holler and we will let you know.
Yep.
But that has been Sci-Fi Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is it for us.
All right. Bye.
Y'all have a wonderful week and rest of the day. Adios.